I did was numb the pain that rose again and again. My mind was like a raging sea that cast its power.
So this next verse, my mind was like a raging sea. Yeah, turns out that wasn't poetic exaggeration. That was Tuesday. It felt like being out in the middle of the ocean, hanging on to a piece of wood, just trying to stay alive. 1 minute you're up thinking, okay, maybe I've got this. And then the next wave comes crashing down and you're underwater, panicking, wondering if this is the one that finally takes you out. That's what it was like inside my head. And this is the part I really want people to understand. This is why people take drugs. It's because they're drowning and they're just trying to breathe. Because then you have to ask, what am I really looking for here? What am I trying to hold on to? Something solid, something that fills the emptiness of life, drowning, with no sense of identity, no sense of purpose. Not exactly a great way to live life. This isn't about frowning on drugs, it's about looking at the root cause, about understanding why people crave them in the first place. Which is a much harder conversation. And it's not just drugs. Comfort doesn't fix it either. Material stuff doesn't fix it. You get a new car. You love that new car smell. You think, okay, this might be it. And then 2 days later, you don't care about the smell. You don't care about the car either, and you're back to wanting something else. Which is when you realize you're not shopping for a car. You're shopping for peace. And sadly, that is not in the brochure. But once you discover what the search is really about, understanding who you truly are, the search ends. When you start to recognize yourself as a being of love, having a human experience, your values shift. And instead of chasing things to fill the emptiness, you start to feel nourished from the inside. And one of the most joyful ways to nourish that is to share. Because when you share, you're not losing anything. You're feeding that part of yourself. That's the joy of sharing. And that's why I promote this program.